Alright, Servbot, play our real clip now. Hit the new intro, let's kick it.
Everyone, this is Hampsterous Rex
and magmacleric. With the holidays being over and the year coming to a close, we have got together once again to bring you, the fans, our top 9 favorite games of 2012. And the rules are?
Very simple. It has to be a game that came out during 2012, and it doesn't really matter what system it came out on. Phone, computer, console, handheld, whatever. We're looking for mainly 3 things. Replay value, the soundtrack, and of course, the gameplay.
Alright, so you know the rules, and you know I'm magmacleric and
Hampsterous Rex.
And this is our top 9 favorite games of 2012. Let's kick it. The era is back in this one. WWE 13, Live the Revolution, with the graphics and sound on it is amazing. The soundtrack has amazing songs on it, and the Predator technology 2.0, it's okay. It has its glitches and stuff, but what really shines here is the WWE Live mode, where you really feel like you're in front of all these people. They've literally taken sound bites from episodes of WWE and put them to this game. So when you do like an oh my god moment and the crowd goes bananas, it's really going bananas. The story mode, which is the Attitude Era mode, it was good. It was fun to relive those, but the sound during it would drop occasionally, and sometimes it would be completely absent, and I don't know why it would. But other than that, WWE 13 is our number 9 pick for our favorite games of 2012.
Number 8, 13-2, Final Fantasy.
Ah yes, the sequel to the first sequel in the Final Fantasy lineup.
What?
Anyways, Final Fantasy 13-2 is an amazing game. The graphics on it are visually stunning. They somewhat improved from the Final Fantasy 13 game.
Yeah, the music is great, possibly the best part of the game, other than the story.
Yeah, the story is pretty intriguing, involving Lightning's sister and her journey, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it's another example of how they turned a relatively minor character into a major one.
Yes, and with that being said, the story is awesome. The gameplay with it is still Final Fantasy 13, except with the exception of quick time events.
And you can backtrack,
which
is perfect. The downloads for this don't really affect the story. They're just like extras, putting in people that you can fight in the Coliseum to add a 3rd member to your party.
Yes, and basically it's an all-around fun game. It's just like I said, it falls short. That's why it's only number 8, because it feels like you're just playing Final Fantasy 13 with additions on it.
Yeah, and it does kind of suck that they took away Lightning's Gunblade.
Yeah, Lightning had a pretty cool gunblade. Other than that, this game gets our completionist rating of completed. Don't sue, please. But other than that, check it out. It's a fun game. We liked it. It's not our favorite.
If you want a game that's very story orientated, you should check this game out.
Yes. With that being said, Final Fantasy 13-2 is our number 8 pick and one of our favorite games of 2012.
Moving on. You like to shoot things? You like strategy games? Then Enemy Unknown XCOM is definitely for you. It's a remake from the 1994 game XCOM, and although the gameplay will eventually feel repetitive, it's still one of the best games, so you really should try this out. The story is very simple. Earth is defending itself from aliens, and it pretty goes into detail, pretty good detail about your actions and your choices. Music wise, it has a very solid score. Gameplay, it could be a little bit better, but still, it's repetitive, so if you like stuff like that, that's good for you. One of the best things about this is it's real-time strategy, and it's not something as cheesy as other strategy games like Zoids. It has a very good customized menu. You can abduct aliens to acquire new technology, get new soldiers. The pre-order bonus for it was not very good in my opinion. And of course, if you just like to shoot things and you like to make it be all about strategy, it's all about this game. Graphically, it could be a little bit better, but just gonna have to deal with it, I guess. Well, that was number 7. We're moving on.
Rated T, it should be rated A for awesome. That's right, Street Fighter vs. Tekken is awesome. And it's one of the best crossovers of 2012, with the exception of Mega Man vs. Street Fighter. Anyways, this one was released early 2000, and it introduced Tekken to the Street Fighter 4 mechanics with a new ability of gems, which allows you to customize your character, giving her or him more power, more defense, better health, better specials, and whatnot. The storyline revolves around the fighters going after the Pandora's box to get its ultimate power. The bosses vary between either Akuma or Org, which depends on which characters you selected. If you selected Tekken, it'd be Org. If you selected Street Fighter, it'd be Akuma, of course. But other than that, this game is pretty fun. The only downfall to it for me was you couldn't really combine teams to get a different story. Like you couldn't have Ryu and Jin be together, or our favorite Russian, Zangief and the Bear be together. Kuma, you couldn't have them two be together and have a storyline. And they didn't even have a dialogue, and he freaking wrestles bears in the 4th Street Fighter. So that was a bit odd for me. But other than that, the gameplay, the music, it was just simply awesome and amazing. The gameplay is always great. Can't wait for 2013 because they're re-releasing it but Tekken style, and it's gonna have Tekken gameplay and all of the others. So make sure you check it out, buy it. It is definitely a great buy. Street Fighter Cross Tekken is our number 6 pick of our favorite games of 2012. Thanks for watching.
Nothing like waking up in a pile of dead bodies. Okay, number 5 is Kingdoms of Amalur. This game featured a create a character system at the very beginning of the game, but it only allows for customization on your head in terms of hairstyle, jewelry, tattoo, and facial hair if you're a male character. Otherwise, it's just race and skin color. This game is actually quite large, taking up to 80 hours to finish the main story, faction quests, and side quests, and being able to continue the game even after you finish the main story. It has 3 character trees, so you can customize your character in any way you want through sorcery, might, or finesse. There is a very good story, although a lot of the NPCs are pretty classified into 3 subcategories for me. The ones who whine a lot, the ones who don't know anything, and the ones that are know-it-alls. Well, the other things that can be said about this game is that the music was done quite well, there are a variety of it. There are lots of different combinations to make potions, and the Reckoning mode is really interesting in the fact that it can take out groups of enemies at once. There is a fast travel, although the loading times for that is just ridiculous, even if you install the game onto your console. I would say that the replay value for this game is extremely high, considering the amount of customization options there are with your character build up. With each of the skill trees, there are different abilities. Finesse being more for being sneaky. Might has mostly passive abilities, and sorcery is mostly magic. The Reckoning mode can take out a group of enemies, although when you do the special executions, you are able to get much more experience, even doubling that of what you get. And this is why we believe that Kingdoms of Amalur is one of the best games of the year.
Alright, boys and girls, our number 4 pick is Transformers Fall of Cybertron, the sequel to War of Cybertron.
Alright, what's the good points?
The good points are, it is slightly improved on the graphics. The storyline is way better than War for Cybertron. This one takes place a couple years after in the war, and Cybertron has become basically a wasteland, and no one can harness Energon anymore. So it's basically taking part where they get ready to leave Cybertron to go to Earth.
Yeah, one of the best parts about it for me, well, I liked that there were a whole lot more playable characters.
Yeah.
And each one was a little bit more unique, but it also sucks that they took off the co-op.
Yeah, they did take off the co-op, and it suffered from it a little bit. But it was great to play as the Dinobots, to play as other Autobots and other Decepticons.
Bruticus was kind of fun.
Yeah, he was very fun. I like playing the Dinobots, of course, and I extremely love the use of Metroplex. Destruction is always fun.
Yes, it is.
So
Although my favorite level was probably when I was playing Cliff Jumper.
Yeah, that is a pretty fun level. But the downfalls are
No co-op.
no co-op. It's shorter than the first game, or at least that's how it feels. It feels shorter than the first one.
Yeah.
And there's sometimes it freezes if the screen gets filled up with too much action. It'll glitch in and out. So that's a problem with it sometimes. But it also happens in multiplayer as well. It lags on it as well in that. But other than that, this game is freaking amazing. The story is amazing. The multiplayer is fun and addictive.
The soundtrack.
The soundtrack is awesome. And all the voice actors are back for this one that were in the first one. So that's a plus. So go check out our number 4 pick, Transformers Fall of Cybertron for 2012.
Number 3 on our list is Assassin's Creed 3. Kind of ironic, but in a way, I don't really care. In this game, it takes place during the American Revolution, which is a big step forward from the Renaissance period from Assassin's Creed 2. Assassin's Creed 2 was great, and Assassin's Creed 3 changed a lot of things, such as making it to where you can be more aggressive in combat, and changed the money system to where you need to play a more active role in the fact that you get everything from finding items and hunting, and just basically changing a lot of it. Although character movement has increased and there are many new animations for the new character Connor, it kind of feels like they didn't really focus on the story as much. Said gameplay is really no issue considering that it brought in that many new things, including new weapons such as the bow and arrow and the rope darts. New abilities are brought in, including being able to pretend that you've been taken hostage. And in this one, weather even plays a vital role. Snow will hinder your movement, and fog hinders your sight. Now, the cities are a little smaller in this one, which is a shame really, but they brought in a area called the Frontier, which is supposed to be about a little bigger than Rome, but it just feels way too empty to me. There are now mobile hiding spots, and the game really improves the stealth aspect when it comes to that. With all these new things, one of the coolest things about this is that when Connor is with his Indian people, he speaks their language and not so much English around them, which is actually very realistic. The fact that Connor can also dual wield also brings in more animations, being able to do double counters and apparently double takedowns, and just improves gameplay that much more. Controls have been simplified, and that makes it one of the best things I can think of for this list. You ready for zombies?
Oh, I am totally ready for zombies.
Really?
Yes, that's why our number 2 pick is Resident Evil 6.
Yes. Resident Evil 6 brings back the horror part of it for me.
Yeah, it brings it back in Leon's story, which this game is basically broke down into 3 stories, or 4 if you include Ada's story once you beat all 3 of them.
Well, I like how they went back to regular zombies.
Yeah, I do, but again, that can be said for a bunch of stuff. I mean, there's regular zombies in all 3 stories, and there's the new things.
I don't really like this as much as the other ones, because this one really focuses a lot on quick time events.
Yeah, this one is pretty heavy on quick time events, even more heavier than what Resident Evil 5 was, and Resident Evil 5 was pretty heavy on the quick time events.
Now, it's always awesome in these type of games when you're running low on ammo.
Oh yeah, the difficulty on it does spike from here to there, but it's nice that you can play with a friend, and it still sometimes gives you a scare and whatnot.
Yeah, and as said before with the quick time events, you have to really pay attention, or else you could get hit by a train.
Yeah. But other than that, this game was pretty awesome. The graphics have been improved again. Gameplay is still Resident Evil 4 gameplay, but slightly tweaked.
Soundtrack is pretty good.
Soundtrack is pretty good. There's not much default to it, except for Chris's storyline is pretty bland.
Replay value is still good though.
Yeah, replay value is very high. So we definitely recommend getting this for number 1 is Halo
Darksiders 2. Yeah, you heard me. Darksiders 2. For one thing, unlike Halo, which is linear, this game takes place just about at the same time as the first game, bringing in a whole new character, Death, as opposed to War from the first game. The puzzles are more varied and more challenging. Combat is faster, so fast where you lose yourself in it. It's more of an RPG than a simple hack and slash, because they redesigned the game to where you level up. You have possessed weapons which you can level up. You have skill trees. You have stats. The story mode takes 20 hours to finish at least. That's not including side quests. There's a ton of collectibles. There's all kinds of equipment, secondary weapons, the Scythe primary weapons.
But Halo 4 is freaking amazing. You have new enemies, new combat system, a new weapons, new story, and you're back as Master freaking Chief. That's right, he is finally back in action, and man, he has not skipped a beat yet. But here's the thing, he is so badass that they had to make new enemies just for him to conquer and make them his bitch. Other than that, the multiplayer is fan-freaking-tastic. Spartan Ops keeps you playing, keeps the replayability going. The story is relatively about 2 days long, maybe. The story mode behind it is awesome. There's so much shit going on. The new enemies are even incredibler than the aliens that I've had to make up a new word for it. So Halo 4 for number 1.
Darksiders 2
Halo
for number 1.
4.
Darksiders 2.
Halo 4.
Darksiders 2.
Halo 4.
Darksiders 2.